Hey Socials and Stilettos family, welcome back to our channel. I am so excited for today's video because today we're going to be talking about how to build a solid and engaged community on Instagram from scratch, everything that you need to know, and why being social on social media is so important. Are you ready? Let's jump in. I feel like the word engagement is something that a lot of people hear and are like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know what that even means. And it just feels like one of those words that instantly you get this internal feeling of like, I can't do it, and overwhelm, right? But the thing is that if we really bring it back down to the basics, it is actually just being social on social media and building relationships. And I think that's one of the most important things when it really does come to building a brand online, because without that social part, you don't have that humanized aspect to your brand, and ultimately your followers, your community, your audience is not really going to care about what you're doing or what you're launching or where you're going. So in this video, like I said, we're going to be talking about our biggest tips for engagement. And I think starting with the first one, it's going to be creating more aligned content. This is probably like one of the biggest factors to actually seeing comments and interactions happening on your posts. And this really comes and stems from getting really clear on your ideal audience, who you're targeting, what kind of content is going to speak to them, understanding their pain points, what makes them tick, and everything in between, so that when you do get into creating, whether that be video content, graphics, really any type of content, we're making sure that it's something that they're actually going to care about seeing and hearing about, and in turn are going to want to comment, like, share, and continue following you for. When it comes to creating more aligned content, I have 3 Socialista tips for you. Number 1 is going to obviously be, like I said, getting very clear on your target audience. I believe it's HubSpot that actually has a really good resource to help you do this. I always recommend it to all of our clients, especially if you aren't somebody who has taken the time to really dive into creating an ideal client avatar or some sort of persona for who it is that you're trying to target. This is really gonna help you. I'll leave it in the comments descriptions box down below, and you can go check it out there. But that's Socialista tip number 1. Number 2 is going to be sticking to your content pillars, or also known as content buckets. These are really 3 to 5 different topics, categories that you're going to rotate through. And essentially when you have these little buckets of content, you're never gonna run out of content ideas. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see with accounts that are really seeing that dip in their engagement is that they almost like try to step too far out of what their audience is there for and wants to see. If you think about it this way, when you come to our Instagram page, you're expecting the best Socialista tips and all things social media marketing and PR. Can you imagine if we just randomly started sharing something like car tips in there? Like, it would seem so far-fetched, out of the loop, and ultimately at the end of the day, you're gonna unfollow because that's not why you were there in the first place. So get clear on your content buckets and stick to them, girlfriend. And Socialista tip number 3 is going to be get familiar with your industry. I think doing competitor, if you want to call it that, research is super important because it really allows you to keep up with your industry and see what your target audience really wants to see, what's trending. And it's a really great reminder that you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. Like, if something is working, do it, put your own twist on it, and have fun with it. Number 2, when it comes to building a solid and engaged community, is going to be sharing your journey. I think this is super important, and a lot of the times brands often overlook this because they think, my audience doesn't want to know about me, like they're just here for my products. And it is the biggest mistake that you're gonna make, because at the end of the day, people want to buy from people. Having a face behind your brand and really showing what you stand for, your journey, the highs, the lows, and everything in between, is just gonna make your audience feel more connected and close to you. So don't be afraid to use your Instagram stories as a place to really share that raw, relatable, behind the scenes style content that your audience can really get to know you better from. Number 3 is obviously going to be making sure that you're responding to your audience's comments and messages on your content. I think this is something that, let's be honest, we're all busy. A lot of the times we post and then, I don't want to say ghost, but it's a term and it's for a reason. A lot of people do really post and ghost. They post something, they go, they live their best life, and that's great. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if you're not taking the time to respond to people's comments and messages on your content, why would they leave you another? Because they're almost going to feel the sense of like they're putting more into the social relationship than you are. And in turn, it's just going to kind of create a bridge where they feel like, well, what's the point in commenting on their posts anyways, because they never respond. And I can almost guarantee that if you think about who you're commenting on their post on social media, you probably have felt this before and have stopped commenting on somebody's post because of this. Number 4, go live. This is so important, and I feel like this is one of those things where it's like practice what you preach, Brittney, because it's been a while since I've done a live. But lives are such a great way to get your audience to get to know you better and interact with you in real time. I think that when you think of a live, think of it as it being a way for your audience to be the closest to you, essentially like face to face without being face to face, and it gives them that chance to connect with you real time. So they can ask a question, you can answer, they can kind of see you and feel more connected to you than any other content type. So if you haven't gone live, this is your sign. Definitely put it on your calendar sometime this month and get to know your audience that way. Have fun with it. There's so many different things that you can go live for, whether it be behind the scenes. I know some of our clients do packaging their orders and they kind of go live and answer any frequently asked questions they have. If you're a makeup brand, this could look like doing a little tutorial of a new palette that you just launched. The sky is really the limit, but like I said, have fun with it, and I promise you, you are going to reap the benefits. Always remember, when it comes to engagement, you 100% get what you give, and you're going to want to engage with others in order to see a boost in your own engagement. Lucky for you, we have put together a free 14-day engagement challenge that is going to walk you through some of the standard practices that we use here for both our agency accounts and our clients' accounts to really see a really good boost in engagement. We've linked it in the description box below, so make sure you run, don't walk. You're going to want this one, and it's just jam-packed with juiciness. So, like I said, go grab it. We hope that you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't yet already. Here's to elevating businesses and building iconic brands. Stay social.